Alright guys, so for those who are going to be giving their active IQ level 2 practical assessment soon, here are some tips I'm going to give you to ace your practical assessment, okay? So the first tip is going to be that between the sets of your client, so when you're coaching your client and during the rest periods, okay, between the sets, don't go on your phone or look around the gym. Use that time to explain about the exercise to your client or get some more information about your client, maybe about their lifestyle, or explain to them how this exercise is going to benefit them, which muscle groups it targets, and etc. Okay, that's number one. The second tip is that we're living in 2025, we're in the modern era, so it's very important, instead of using a notebook, we start using technology in our coaching, okay? It's very important for personal trainers these days to have some sort of tablet or iPad with them to track their client's data, right? Because for example, now if your client is going to do some sort of 1 rep max and you want to track their max strength over, like, let's say 7 months, you want to keep track of all their 1 rep maxes over the past few months, because let's say he hits some goals in January, you're not going to be able to remember them all the way in December, right? So that's a very important one. The second one is that for the practical assessment specifically, when your client's gonna come up to you, whether he's a fresh client or he already uses that gym where this assessment is taking place, you have to give your client a full tour of the gym and give a brief about not the machines but like the area. Like for example, if your gym has segregated areas for the bodybuilding area, the somewhat CrossFit functional area, calisthenics or boxing area, you want to go through the whole gym and just tell them that, yeah, this is the functional area, here we can do some sort of Tabata or like CrossFit, and then this is the bodybuilding area where all the machines are, that's the weightlifting area with the Olympic plates and etc., right? So you want to give him like a brief about like 2-3 minutes of the whole gym. Okay, this is going to add a lot of value to your assessor who is going to be grading the practical assessment. Next one is that now during the demonstration in the practical assessment, make sure that the hook on the machines, like for example for the tricep extension or when you're rowing, the seated row, there's usually a hook that you attach, right? Make sure the hook is not broken. Sometimes the hook is usually slightly broken or weak, okay, and that could make you fail in the exam. Okay, what's next? Ensure before demonstrating the surroundings need to be clear, right? So this is a very common mistake, is that most of the time there are usually dumbbells or plates lying down in front of the gym. Most people, they usually let it be on the floor, they don't put everything back. So your job as a personal trainer, especially in the practical exam, you want to make sure before you take your client anywhere, the coast is clear, okay? The floor has no scattered bands, dumbbells or plates, okay? Because it can be very dangerous. So safety is very important. Okay, next one is depending on the gender, of course, but this is the general rule. You need to ask for permission before touching your client for spotting. Okay, now how you're gonna ask for permission, you're not just gonna say, can I touch you? Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna ask indirectly. For example, let's say they're going for a heavy barbell back squat, so you're gonna ask them, do you need assistance in this movement, right? Or do you mind if I spot you, or do you need spotting, something like that, okay? But we're not going to be direct with this question, especially with the opposite gender. Okay, next tip is that before the client is going to perform any sort of cardiovascular machine in the warm-up or cool-down, or specifically for cardiovascular machines, but generally you need to make sure that number one, they are wearing the right shoes for the exercise or program or workout they're going to be performing today, whether it's functional or just cardiovascular or weightlifting, okay? You want to make sure they're wearing the right shoes for that and their laces are tight, okay? Okay, next one is always guide your clients to put all the equipment back after they use it. So after they finish a good heavy dumbbell chest press, okay, they're all pumped up, they don't want to like go all pumped up and walk out of the gym. No, you want to guide them to put all the dumbbells and equipment back to keep the gym clean and safe for themselves and for their surroundings, okay? You want to build this habit in your clients, so this should be a guideline that you should give them from day one, okay, especially in the practical. Okay, next thing is that for fresh clients, clients who don't really have any training history, you want to ask them about training history in other sports, maybe they have done some other sorts of sports. That's number one. Also very important to ask about injuries and surgeries, what type of injuries, and if they have been some chronic surgeries or injuries lately, you want to ask them to refer to their doctor and get some consultation from there. Okay, so in this video, like it's about 5-6 minutes, I've just mentioned a few tips that's going to help you in your active IQ level 2 practical assessment. So I hope it helps, and good luck on that.